What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we have something kind of like, I don't even know how to explain this. This is just like ridiculous to me, with Hasbro behind the scenes a little bit. Now, I just want to put out a disclaimer that none of this is really confirmed. It's mostly just speculation and I guess you could say a healthy conclusion from what we've seen from Hasbro the last few years since Chris Cox, the new CEO, and all these new people on the corporate side of things have taken over Hasbro the last 3-4 years. So Aaron Archer, he was talking on his Toy Armada podcast channel. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. I'll have it linked down in the description of this video. I'll have the video that I'll be referencing linked down below. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. So he was talking about the layoffs that happened just recently with John Warden and everything. And he dropped some interesting details or speculatory details on his side of things going from, you know, his experience at Hasbro. Because if you guys don't know who Aaron Archer is, he worked at Hasbro for close to he was there for like 25 years, I'm pretty sure. And he worked on a lot of stuff with the Transformers brand. He was one of the main leads on the designs for everything for the Unicron trilogy and the movies. And he was responsible for a lot of the lore with the Align continuity and the 13 Primes, Vector Prime, all that stuff. So he was a very integral part with the Transformers franchise, and especially the story side of things for a long time, about 15 years, until like the early 2010s when he left Hasbro. So he's got a lot of knowledge on the inside things, how Hasbro used to work back then, and the Transformers brand and everything like that. So I do take what he's saying here very seriously, because it does seem like this may be the case. So with the collabs and everything that Hasbro has been doing with Transformers and other companies, if you think about it, all these layoffs and all these collabs that have been coming out, so many of them, and we're supposed to be getting even more next year and the year after, is Hasbro just becoming a licensing company? And Aaron Archer addresses this in a clip here that I'm going to play you guys. So I'm going to play the clip and I'll give you guys my thoughts on everything after.
I don't talk the negative too much, but the new CEO, he's after big money. You know, all the moves of people they've let go in the last 2 years are management, middle management, upper management types who, you know, cutting millions and millions and millions off just the salary side of things. And as you license more things out to loyal subjects, Super 7, Lego, Mattel, you know, as things go, you don't have to pay any internal staff. You actually get money in for the sake of them licensing it, as long as they want to license it. And it just seems like they are going to whittle down and become a licensing company. For years, my friends and I, and one of the things we talked about was the value of Hasbro's licenses, that, you know, a bigger company would come along and want to buy Hasbro and, you know, for its properties. And it feels like it's being sold for parts from within now, versus what we would have thought back then. And that's business. Those guys, you know, when I was there, Brian Goldner, the CEO, he wanted to make an entertainment company out of it. You know, it's more than a toy company. It's an entertainment company. If the new people come along and just want to be salesmen and make money, just by doing the least amount of whatever and squeezing the whales, you know, all that stuff is just extra effort, extra salaries, extra time. It's like they obviously want to just push all that out. You know, and let other companies take that burden, and they'll just reap the money. They can move their offices to Boston. There can be 15 of them, and it's all accountants and that kind of thing. And, you know, that seems to me the slight direction it's heading. You know, when they move to Boston, they're not moving a bunch of designers. They're not moving a bunch of engineers. They're not going to be moving a paint department. It's all just going to be gone. That's my thought on it, as I see how that usually plays out. You're not going to move to swanky part of Boston to have some guy come in and paint models.
Guys, if what Aaron Archer here was talking about becomes reality in the coming years, I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, with these layoffs, it really does make sense. You're letting go of John Warden for his salary rather than keeping him on for his experience and the great work he's done over the last 20-something years he was there, I think. He mentions, you know, with Hasbro potentially moving to Boston from Rhode Island to a swanky part of Boston. I've been to Boston. I used to live in Boston. I was born there, and it's pretty expensive to live there. There's a lot of swanky parts, especially the last 10, 15 years. And he made a great point. You're not moving painters, designers, artists, all these people over to Boston to make all these toys and to have all these extra people on your salary at Hasbro. It's going to be all these accountants, all these corporate people, business people, the CEO, all this stuff that is the people at the top controlling these designers, painters, artists. Getting rid of all that saves the people at the top millions upon millions of dollars every year. Getting rid of all these extra people on their salaries, designers and painters and everything. And it really does make sense what he's saying here. And with all the collabs we've been getting the past 4 or 5 years, basically, and it seems like they're going to be ramping up the collabs even more next year. Got a Sonic collab, Batman, Star Wars, all this different stuff. So many that we have listings for. I think there's about like 10 or maybe even more collabs coming out next year. Knight Rider. It's just crazy. Like, they're doing everything under the sun that people ask for, it seems like. It really does feel like the Generations line is slowly maybe taking a back seat a little bit in Hasbro's priority, and they want to market these collabs a bit more. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that's the case right now. I mean, look at the whole line that they're coming out with the next couple of years with Age of the Primes. That's far from just a little beat there from Hasbro. That's like the main entree right there with Transformers. So I'm not saying this is happening now, but I'm saying maybe gradually down the line in the coming years, it may turn into just, okay, we're getting all these collab figures for the year, and maybe we're going to get a couple, Generations or movie figures here and there. But ultimately, Hasbro is just looking to make money. And the new CEO, Chris Cox, he's making millions of dollars every year, a lot more than he really should be, if you ask me, for a CEO of a toy company. And these new people, they're in it to make money. And Aaron Archer explains here that it seems like a lot of these newer people that they've hired over the years are less about, caring about the brand and being fans and enjoying these characters, the story, and whatever IPs that they're working on. And it's more so about how much money can we make off of this IP and these characters, and they just don't care about, making cool figures and treating these characters with respect. And he makes a good point. If you're somebody who doesn't know anything or really care about whatever brand you're working on, you're going to make decisions that don't make sense to people who actually know the brand. But if you're somebody who doesn't know a thing about it, it's going to seem like a good decision to you. And it really does feel like we're going in that direction with some of the decisions that Hasbro is making. Now, obviously, all these collabs are cool and everything. I'm sure a lot of people have been asking for a Batman Sonic collab all these years, for decades now. If Aaron Archer here, what he's saying has any weight to the future, this could be a bad thing. A lot of people's jobs are on the line. And people who use these Transformers figures as stress relievers or whatever for their mental health, whatever example you want to throw out there. I mean, what figures are you going to have to buy in 2030 to get the stress away from your crappy job or crappy school life or personal life, whatever example you want to throw out there? If we're moving into this soulless company of just doing Mattel Hot Toys Transformers cars and Sonic Transformers, which I'm sure a lot of people are still going to like, but what's going to happen to wanting a new Beast Wars figure or a new Unicron Trilogy update of a figure that we haven't gotten in 30 years by that point in 2030? So I don't know. if you're going by what he's like speculating on here and talking about, the future does seem pretty dim for a lot of people working at Hasbro right now. And it's just ridiculous to me, guys. Like, and then, you know, all these decisions with AI and just not wanting to do the work and not wanting to hire all these people and not respecting artists the way they should. It's just ridiculous to me, guys. And somebody who loves buying Hasbro product, whether it's Transformers, Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, it really does upset me, you know? And for somebody who, myself personally, uses these things as stress relievers sometimes to get away from stuff going on in your life whenever, it really does kind of scare and shock me for the future of Hasbro Transformers product. With Hasbro's collabs with Transformers, outsourcing stuff to the point where Hasbro themselves don't have to do any work and they don't have to keep all these designers and painters on their salary to make these figures, and they could just outsource it to Lego or Mattel or whatever other toy company they're doing a collab with to make these figures and sell it, and they just reap the benefits and get all the money. It really seems like it could be a possibility. But, yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about the potential, I'm just going to say it, basically, like, dark future that Hasbro could be going in the future? It's very crazy to me, but, yeah, all my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or irregular display shelves in your homes. You could either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!